Hola, me llamo Brian, y este es Football Manager 22. Alright, no need to scramble to check your settings. This is year 4 of my Salisbury campaign, and we've just achieved promotion to the Vanarama National League, long considered one of the toughest tiers in the English Premier League to advance through. As 4 teams get demoted, only 2 teams get promoted, and only one of those automatically. Teams coming up from the VNN and VNS are almost always semi-pro sides, and they're met with the harsh reality of fully professional sides, both already in the league, and those coming down from League 2. Given how well we scored goals in the Vanarama South, I thought it reasonable that we'd be able to maintain at least some level of offensive efficiency, but that our defense would need a retooling to be competitive. So we made 8 acquisitions over the summer, starting up top out of Finland and then the Chelsea youth system. We have Finland U21 goalkeeper Lucas Bergstrom to replace Odunze. I considered it if the problem was that 6'7" Odunze was struggling to get down to block shots on the ground easily enough, and thought to myself, no, taller, and went and got 6'8" Bergstrom. Tra Lucas on loan from Luton, and Josh Andrews from Birmingham are replacing Devon Arnold in the striker rotation, as Arnold wanted a renewed contract when I had planned to keep him on a monthly deal. Jamie Egan is back on loan once again to bolster the center back rotation. Dean Darby is loaned in from Oxford, all physical attributes and little technical to play right back. And then our 2 best acquisitions, both out of Tottenham. We have defensive midfielder Kalon Hazeman, who has good physicals, very good mentals, and technical abilities in the important categories for a defensive midfielder. And then we have left back Jordan Hackett, who is just a great all-around player, with the limitation that he's bad at crossing the ball. But as our system doesn't rely on the fullbacks to contribute too much offensively, he's perfect. He really should be playing at least a League 1 level, possibly even a championship level. So it's ridiculous that we have him down here in the Vanarama National League. So we take a look at the standings, and it seems like we're doing pretty good, because we are 5th place. But there's the thing to note. We've had a very weird schedule. We're sharing a stadium with Eastleigh because Raymond McEnahill doesn't meet VNL regulations, and they're also in the Vanarama National League, so scheduling has been rough. And with all the rain in southern England, we had several games postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. So as of January 28th, we have only played 20 games, while nearly everyone else has played 23. So we're 5th in points, but we're basically neck and neck with first place when it comes to points per match played. The schedule eases up a tiny bit in the second half of the year, as we've been eliminated from all of our tournaments. Luckily, the Southern Premier tournament, that was some reason still on our schedule last year, is now gone. And we were eliminated. We were so close to beating League 1 Wigan in the second round of the FA Cup, taking a 2-0 lead against them into the 77th minute, when, perhaps coincidentally, and perhaps not, we pulled one of our strikers for a second defensive midfielder and tried to park the bus. They scored the 2 needed goals to tie it, and then got the game winner in 105th plus 5. The game I have for you right now is against Southend. They spent a large portion of the beginning of the year at the top of the standings, but they've skidded down lately with a record in their last 8 of 1 win, 5 draws, and 2 losses to slide down to 6th. However, it's still an important game, even though they're not in first anymore. We will generally listen to Callum Hart's instructions. He's still with us as our assistant manager. Unfortunately, our defensive line is a bit underwhelming this game, as due to that heavy compacted schedule, I've had to rest players aggressively and rotate aggressively, and I've promised Shotton, Darby, and Hackett the game off because they were running on tired legs. That's one reason you see, at least on Hackett, so many, I think, down arrows, is he's just tired from playing so much. So we have holdovers from the previous year, Cranston, Otse Taiwo at the edges, and Harvey Rue, who came over from Connah's Quay in the Welsh League just a couple of days ago, who has positional flexibility between the left back spot, center back spot, and defensive midfield. Not an impressive player by any stretch, but does what he needs to do. And so hopefully he can ease the burden on those defensive players a little bit. So we'll spin the team. Largely green here, which is always positive. Take us in the match. So we are 7 points back of first place with 3 games still to play that they haven't played. So win-win draw would be enough to tie us for first. 3 wins gives us first. Though obviously the schedule doesn't line up so neatly. We have to find weird gaps in the schedule to make those games up. Trevitt will send it out to Osei Taiwo off the kickoff. Up to Smith. Finds Campton Sturridge. Breaks ahead with his speed, but doesn't find a good angle. Back to Osei Taiwo. Long cross forward. It's a miss, and they cycle it out on defense. The ref is in the way, and Spong does a good job cutting in. Intercept the ball back for us. Hazeman plays it forward to Campton Sturridge. Can he find an angle? No. Plays it off a defender. Smith rallies to the ball, looking for a cross, and it is grabbed by Seaton, their keeper. Looks like they are playing a 4-3-3, my preferred formation. I still don't know when I will try and pull the trigger on changing my formation. Part of it will be, unfortunately, I will have to deal with the front office, who currently dictate that we play a counter-attacking style of football, when I would much rather play a possession-based method. Smith heads it back to Bergstrom, and he will consider his options. To Spong, plays it forward to Al-Hamadi. Al-Hamadi chicks the keeper. 19th goal of the year for the Iraqi legend, and the Salisbury legend at this point, Ali Al-Hamadi. 9th minute. Beautiful stuff. Let's watch it again. Good job, Spong cutting back, and Al-Hamadi just racing forward, and the chip. Love chipping the keeper. Which sends us up to second. I don't believe there are many or any other games today, so we don't need to be watching. And, there's still another half of the year to play, so plenty of time for teams to climb the standings or fall down them. Rue plays it up to Cranston, forwards it. Al-Hamadi strikes it off the post. A little surprised Rue found himself that far forward at that angle as a center back, but whatever works. They failed to convert that corner. And let's take a look at... Yeah, I guess there's one other game going on right now between Boreham and Barnet. But those are not two of the most relevant teams in the world. Seems Hazeman's picked up a yellow card. Plays it forward. Al-Hamadi gets on it. Circles back to Spong. Fires a left-footed shot off a defender. Careens across the pitch to Smith. Looking for space. Looking for some cross. No, off a defender. We'll take the corner. Looking for Spencer Adams and Rue to perhaps head in a 2-goal lead. Rue on his debut. Oh, brutal. Off the post and out. So many of the goals against us this year have been at the post and in. It'd be nice if we could get those trickle bounces to fall our way for once. Though, obviously not much to complain about given our performance so far this year. Spong plays it forward, looking for Campton Sturridge. Just barely saved by the keeper. And we'll see another corner. I believe Spong will be taking this, yep. Fires it in. Spencer Adams. Header. Goal. First one of the year for Bailey Spencer Adams. Assisted by Jack Spong. Jack? Yes, Jack Spong. Jack and Jack on the wings. Good stuff. It's much been said that headers are OP this year, that especially set pieces attacking the near and far post. I'd definitely say they've been good. I haven't really tried to exploit it to see if it's play across the Smith, header, save, but we'll take the corner to see if it's truly broken. I've heard reports of one team who somehow managed to get 25 goals for a center back on headers on the near post, which seems pretty ludicrous. I think the most I've seen is 5 or 6 from one of my players on the near post, but I rotate pretty heavily, and obviously my players aren't as insanely talented as I imagine that player is. Must be a giant with amazing heading ability. Forward to Captain Courage, and he fires a laser over the net. 33 minutes gone. We've pretty much held Southend to no real chances, only 0.13 XG. Interesting. Plays it short to Al-Hamadi coming back. Rue to Spong. No luck. Rue possesses. Plays it back to Smith. Players are all kinds out of position. Tries to lay it forward to Camden Sturridge, and it's just kicked out of bounds. On the other hand, we have 0.89 XG. Obviously, we've done a much better job converting than they have. I'm trying to look at which players are likely going to need rest. Cranston, Spong, basically the entire midfield, maybe Al-Hamadi. So yeah, overall, very pleasing performance. Good job. And the boys are happy to hear my kudos. Cranston and Hazeman, if I have replacements, would be good, as they're both on yellows and also wearing out. And maybe one of the strikers, so that I can not have to play two backup strikers in my next game. Instead, leave one of them on. Sure, press that guy who's apparently providing a threat. I don't know. Haven't felt much of a threat. Trevitt heads it out. Yeah, it's the sort of thing that has created opportunities for the other teams so far this year against us. Obviously, that guy did not strike the ball particularly well and fired it off into space. 60th minute. Start looking for who's coming out. I don't know who I have on my bench. Because again, three of my players aren't even on the bench. Three of my better players aren't even on the bench to make sure that they rest this game and have time off that they need to prevent long-term injuries. So yeah, let's see. We have two strikers we could bring in. Not amazing. We have a left-sided midfielder. If we want to take Spong off, he is one of the most gassed players, though I guess it's a pretty even tier here. All on fair physical condition, since it no longer is an exact percentage and instead is a tier. I still just kind of assume that the bottom is worse, even if they are not. We also just don't have much positional flexibility when it comes to Forrester. So we're just going to take out Spong, and that means we can probably start him next game as well. So that's always a positive. We'll go ahead and put in Bradley Green for Hazeman. Positional fit. And we'll go ahead and sit Al-Hamadi for Josh Andrews, who is our target man. Trial Lucas is the backup poacher, because we play with a target man and a poacher up top. 70th minute, make our trio of changes all at once. If we were a time-wasting team, maybe we would stagger them a little to try and burn more clock. I'm not concerned with that. Let's get them all on the pitch, get the tired guys off. 84th minute, they have a throw-in. Andrews intercepts, nice job. Plays it up to Campton Sturridge, lays it back to Smith, making it right at the end. Richie Smith doesn't have great jets, but enough to get a look. Plays across to Forrester, heads it just wide. I will jump in here to tell the guys to now start wasting the ball, wasting time frequently in dead ball situations. Plays forward to Campton Sturridge, doesn't come up with it. Smith doesn't come up with the header either. They bomb it forward. Luckily, Bergie boy, Lucas Bergstrom, handles it easily. Hasn't had a difficult day. Hopefully won't see any challenges late. Bombs it forward. Andrews is either tripped or acts like he's tripped to try and draw a foul. The ref isn't having any of it, and our subsequent attempt is played over the top. 90th minutes, we are now in extra time. Stoppage time, excuse me. I know the difference. This will be the last highlight, up by 2. Pretty much no sweat. All over, but the crying. Celebration today. Jack Spong was great, delivering both of our assists. Al-Hamadi and Spencer Adams getting his first goal of the year. Just all in all, a pretty dominant performance. So, I am obviously very happy with the team as constructed. Feel like we have enough depth that, we had a very rotated defense today and completely held off a good Southend team. So that bodes well for the future. We'll see how we go with the schedule still being very full over the next couple months. Because, again, 23-team league, so 44 league games. But I am hopeful that at very least we will see ourselves in the promotion playoffs. If not, perhaps even challenging for that automatic promotion spot. At which point we would assuredly have to move up to being a professional team. Anyways, I appreciate anyone who has listened and watched to the end. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things. Sorry if this is a slight delay. Obviously, more games in the year and just having to get ready for holiday things. So the schedule may be a little more flexible, obviously, over the next couple weeks. Thank you for your time, and have a nice day.